just to get off on the right foot here, week one? Captain here, this team. How big is it?
Yeah, I think it's important. It always, first game of the season, and you want to get off to a good start. I think, important. I think put a lot of preparation and time into this. We've had a long training camp, made a lot of progress, and you're eager to get out there for the first game.
Daniel, what stands out about Miami on film?
I think they got a good front. I think when you look at that, there's a lot of impact players there up front, and I think we have a strong front up front. So I think that is a good matchup for us. But a lot of good players, and we'll study them, be ready for it. Good players in the back end too, smart guys who can make plays. But I think we'll continue to study it and develop our game plan through this week.
Daniel, will it be an advantage for you guys, the fact that you do have a lot of weapons on the outside, JT, Tyler as well? Does it kind of make it difficult for the defense to concentrate on and target one guy maybe?
I think so, yeah. I think, I feel like that's been, we've seen that during training camp too, just how many different guys we can get the ball to and can hurt the defense in different ways. I think that makes it tough for a defense to game plan and take one guy away. I think we got a lot of guys who are dangerous.
You've been building towards this for months now. What excites you about just having that, official new start, new chapter come tonight?
Just excited to get out there. I think we all are. A lot of work's gone into this as a group, since, dating back in the spring when we got together for OTAs, and I feel like we've come a long way. So I think we're all really excited to get out there.
Yeah, what excites you about the guys around you, the offense you have, the weapons around you as a quarterback?
I think, like I said, I think just how many different guys with different skill sets, different strengths, abilities, we have, and how hard that is for a defense to plan for and account for everybody. So I'm excited to get out there and play with these guys. I think, playing with the guys up front, how well they've played all camp and how strong that group is. I think it'll be a fun group to be part of.
This group has talked about having a sense of urgency, and Shane talked a whole lot about creating that edge through training camp. What does that look like for you guys going into week one?
Yeah, I think just on offense, having an attacking mindset and playing at our tempo, at our pace, taking advantage of the opportunities we have in the pass game, and then up front in the run game, doing the same thing. So I think it's just that, playing with an edge, but having an attacking mindset, being aggressive when we have chances to be aggressive.
Daniel, when Shane talks about you and why you got the job and just what he expects out of you, one phrase he uses quite a bit is he finds the completions. I'm guessing he said that was forced to you, but either way, what does that phrase mean to you, find?
I think understanding where the ball needs to go versus certain looks, certain coverages. I think staying on schedule, keeping the generating positive plays, keeping the offense moving forward. Sustaining drives. I think all those things. Obviously, you want to be ready when the shot's there, and when you have the big play, take advantage of it. But understand when it's not. Not holding the ball, getting it out, and letting guys catch and run when we have those chances too.
Daniel, how do you think you've earned the trust of your teammates, and how can you build on that by just simply playing with this?
Yeah, I think just showing up and coming to work every day, trying to improve and growing my understanding of the offense and build chemistry with guys. I think you're always developing that chemistry and that trust with guys, and nothing's more important than what you do on the field on Sundays. So, continue to focus on that and excited to get out there with these guys.
You focus almost entirely on team and what the team can do and all this. Have you resisted the urge about you and what this can mean for you going forward? Or is that just out of your water?
I think, I think you realize that when a team's successful and we win and we play well on offense, I think it's good for everybody. I think if everyone has that mindset, I think that's something that Shane preaches, is having that team mindset. But, understanding if we're successful as a team, that certainly is good for everybody. But certainly the team first, and in this league, it's about winning, and that's where, all of our heads are at.
Dan, have you come against Xavier Howard over the years, and how much maybe you hate that?
Yeah, he's a really good player. smart. I think, when you see those corners play for a long time and have successful careers, they're obviously physically gifted, but they're really smart football players. They recognize routes, they recognize splits and concepts, whatever it is, and he's one of those guys that can read those things and anticipate it, and it's been fun going up against him in practice. I think Mooney's the same way, just having smart DBs who are obviously physically gifted, but are can make plays based off of what they recognize and anticipate certain things.
Danny, you used the word chemistry. Just how important is it to be on the same page with your center and just making sure you guys are kind of seeing the same thing out there?
Yeah, I think a lot of that happens throughout the week and how we prepare. I think Tony does a really good job preparing all of us, especially the guys up front for what looks we're going to get defensively, pressures and fronts and all that stuff. So Tanner does a really good job recognizing that stuff, getting us into the right and the right calls, and I think we'll communicate throughout the week on what are the problem looks, what are the things we're going to have to make adjustments to. But it's been fun working with them throughout camp.
Daniel, have you thought at all about how great of an opportunity this is to kind of resurrect your own career moving forward?
Yeah, I'm excited to get out there. I think, like I said, quarterbacks are judged by winning. I think teams are judged by winning games. So that's what I'm focused on, and I think we have a group of guys who are all kind of focused the same way. So I'm excited. I'm excited to get out there, and I know we put in a lot of work, and I know we're all excited to get out there.
Be able to start the season off. Training camp, it was a lot of good work. Preseason, a lot of good work. Joint practices, everything leading up to this point. I'm just super excited to go play some real ball at this point.
I know you haven't been around here, but this team has not won a season opener since 2013. Give me the sense of urgency among yourself and these other leaders on here to try to find a way to win here.
Yeah, I don't think that matters too much. We're not playing against history. That's one big thing that I've seen in the past. Like, we focus on the fact that we haven't done whatever in the past. It's like that has nothing to do with this season. There's a lot of different players that maybe not have even been here. So in our mindset, it's just we want to win, especially when the first game start the season off right. But more than anything, we want to win every single game. So whatever the history says, yeah, that's a cool stat, whatever. But we want to be able to win the game. That's really what we're excited about coming into this game. We want to go play it and play it well and end up winning.
Obviously, this is a long season, but how important is it to kind of get things started off on the right foot by getting a victory in set week one, just to kind of springboard you heading forward?
I think that's super important. Just starting off hot and knowing, momentum is a real thing in football, especially in the NFL. But really winning any game is a plus, and that springboards you to win the next game because you know how to win. So I think especially winning the first game, that just gets the fans excited, obviously, but even more so for the players. Winning any game is going to really light a fire under us to win more. I think that's one of the most inspiring things. When you win a game, you kind of get addicted to that feeling of winning, and then you just, it turns into a culture of winning where everybody knows how to win and knows why we win, and we continue to play like that, and it turns into a lot of wins over a year.
You got a good test coming in on Sunday with their quarterback, their wide receivers. Give me your thoughts as a defensive back here. You guys have an opportunity to go up against a good offense already in week one.
Yeah, this is what we live for, being able to compete against guys like this, knowing that especially their receivers, they got a lot of speed, a lot of guys that are top in the league, and a solid quarterback too. Just knowing that we're going to get their best and they're going to get our best too, but we're excited to be able to go out there and compete against a high caliber group like that.
You've had a little taste of it in the preseason with Lucas Oil Stadium, but for you personally, first time here this year with the Colts, what are you looking forward to as far as these fans here on Sunday?
I'm excited to see the energy. Preseason, you can't really judge any stadium off the preseason, especially it being my first real game here coming up this week. So I'm just super excited to be able to see the stadium. I've never played in this stadium. So my first time inside the stadium was actually for the preseason game. So I'm excited to see what it's like. But I've heard a lot of good things, so I know the fans are going to be loud and it's going to be jumping.
You said that these are games that you get ready for in terms of going against playmakers that Miami has. I guess overall, obviously you can't give away the whole thing, but what are some of the key traits that you need to do to eliminate, those big-time plays that they can produce?
Yeah, really knowing how they use their players. obviously they have a lot of speed, but we have to know how they use that specific player that has the speed. For all of them, they're known for having a fast offense and guys that are really good in open space, so you got to close the space on them. It's kind of simple as far as game planning is knock the timing off, don't let the quarterback get easy passes to their playmakers, and disrupt the quarterback to not let them get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, and know who they're going to try to use to attack the defense.
That chemistry has been really exciting. I'm excited to show it on the field now.
What's up, Tyler? Oh, now just 4 days away, season opener here. How important is it just to get things started off on the right foot to kind of springboard some momentum to get things going?
Yeah, I think it's real important. It's kind of what we've been working for through all these camps and OTAs and stuff like that. So starting off strong is really important, and that's kind of the goal.
Looking at it from an offensive perspective, you see Miami over the last few years, the playmaking ability that they have when they're healthy. As an offensive guy, do you feel comfortable that if it happens to get into something where you guys need to make plays yourselves to, keep the pace, if they happen to set that, do you feel pretty good with doing that?
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of our jobs as offensive players, right? Is to score points. So that's going to be our focus every week, right? Score more points than the other team, and that's what our jobs are.